Hi and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us for another week of workforce readiness. Today we're going to take a look at a very important part of workforce readiness, and that is the important topic of negotiating salary, benefits, and we're going to talk about when, what, and how to do it. This is a very important piece of the puzzle for workforce readiness, and usually when you're getting to this point, you've already gone through an interview or so, and you're almost ready to start that new job. So let's go ahead and kick off this presentation. We'll cover some really good important points and also give you some really good ideas about how to negotiate your salary and benefits. So let's take a look at the very important job search diagram that we've been using in this class. And here we see that when you're ready to accept an offer, that's when you're almost getting ready to negotiate your salary and benefits. You're already advanced in the process and you're almost ready to close that deal. So it's very important. One really good tip about job offer negotiations is to know when to do it. So never bring up in the first interview. It might be too soon to discuss salary at that point. And also the people that you're meeting with and interviewing with may not have the complete information that they need to really go into the details about salary or benefits. Try not to be the first person to bring up salary at all. So usually the first person to put a number on the table loses some sort of bargaining power. So if possible, wait for the employer to present the salary range for the position. Just let the employer make the first attempt and make the first offer. Most likely they're not going to talk about salary when you're first interviewing, but it's more towards when you are ready to get an offer that they're going to start talking about salary and benefits. If you're asked to state your salary range, you could usually deflect the question by saying that you're flexible. You can also try turning the question around and asking the employer what range they have in mind. And either way, express your enthusiasm for the job and indicate that the experience is more important than the salary. So it's always a good idea to let the employer make the first offer and be flexible and see what type of offer they make you. In some cases, you may be pressed to give a number first, but it's always advised for you not to do that first. If you have tried saying that you are flexible, offer a range rather than a flat number. And so you may try to say, okay, I'm looking for a salary between maybe $3,000 a month or $4,000 a month. Keep these numbers relatively real to what you could possibly do and grounded to what you need. So keep in mind that once you offer a range, you must be ready to accept an offer anywhere in that range. And so that's why it's always recommended for you not to give a range or a number. But if they are asking for a number, you could maybe just give them a range as just a general idea of what you're looking for. Okay, so let's say once you've received a job offer and you're evaluating the offer, that's a really real situation you could find yourself in. And once the employer makes you an offer, you must evaluate the entire package. And obviously, when we first look for jobs, we're going to be looking at the pay. And at times, that may be the most important part of the offer. But you need to first be sure that you understand the entire offer, the salary, and the benefits. So if you have any questions, ask for clarification. If anything is unclear, don't accept an offer on the spot. It is perfectly acceptable and advisable to ask for a couple of days to think it over. At times, you may feel that if someone makes you an offer, you must be ready to accept it immediately and show some sort of eagerness to just get started and show up to the job. But it's very acceptable for you to just think it over, take a couple of days to consider the position, the pay, the benefits, and see if it'll really work out for you. Take some time to review the offer. Make sure you're considering the whole package, not just the salary. Many people will make the mistake of just looking at the salary and not considering the benefits package. So benefits are a very important part of the job. So this includes vacation, time off, medical, dental, etc. And also go over the benefits carefully and try to determine what they are worth to you. Keep that in mind. If you need help just getting an idea of what the benefits are going to offer to you, you could talk to HR and ask them the questions about the benefits that you have. So you could ask for explanation. You could also ask for any additional information that will help you make your decision so that you could feel comfortable about taking the position. You could consider what are the benefits. So different employers will offer different benefit packages, and these could vary quite widely. However, some standard benefits may include things like medical and dental insurance. Usually a percentage is covered, and you want to get an idea of what percentage that would be covered. You want to see how much it's going to cost you to have that insurance and how much the employer is going to pay for. You're also going to have things like vacation time and sick time. This is also important, so keep this in mind. In the era of COVID or post-COVID, sick time has become very important for people to consider. If you need some more information about sick time or additional sick time that's available through the state, you could also take advantage of that and ask at the very beginning what your sick time would look like. You could talk about pension plans or 401k plans or retirement. There's a variety of different plans and retirements that are out there. All of these plans generally have very specific requirements, and so it's a good idea to keep this in mind and to ask questions about tuition reimbursement, stock options, life disability insurance, flex time. Some employers offer executive leave, which is additional paid time off. And there could be a variety of other benefits that are available to you as well. So what are the benefits worth? So in order for you to evaluate the benefits, you have to determine what they're worth for you. And so it could be easy to add a value to certain types of benefits, but you need to see if you're going to actually use it. And for example, if a tuition reimbursement is going to be equal to a certain amount of dollars a year, you want to keep in mind whether you're going to use that or not. Okay. So essentially review the benefits package and decide which benefits you would use and how much they may be worth to you, either monetarily or at personal level. Add this to the salary to get an idea of the complete picture, which is the most important thing to consider. And once you have looked at the whole offer, ask yourself the following questions. How does the salary match with the research that you did for that position and your range? And so if you have done considerable research, and there's several tools within this module that give you options to research the salary of a position, how does the offer stack up to that? And also, how does it stack up to your range? In other words, how does it stack up to what you need from a job? And so you have to keep in mind, you have certain level of expenses that you have a month. You have to match those things up to see if it makes sense for you to take this job. Okay. And by doing this, you'll be able to notice how the salary will meet your need. So you'll also be able to notice which benefits are offered and do they match your needs. So for example, does the medical meet your needs? Does the vacation meet your need? Does the sick time meet your need? Things of that sort. Also, it's important for you to ask yourself, is this offer acceptable? If not, what would make it acceptable to you? and you could make notes of this to yourself. And if you really do have questions about how benefits could be adjusted or changed for your needs, you could maybe talk to HR to see if there's some sort of flexibility on their part that they could do to help you. When evaluating, you may also want to consider some points that are outside of the offer itself, such as commuting distance and options to the job. A lot of people find it very important to have a job that's really close to them. Other people may really want a job that allows them to telecommute, and that's really important. So you could ask yourself those questions. Additionally, you may also want to ask yourself questions about the culture and atmosphere of the office. Let's say, for example, if you're applying for a position and you just know that the workplace has just an awesome culture and atmosphere that you'd really enjoy working in, you could keep that in mind and see how that works into the entire package. Also, keep in mind the work schedule. Some people really need a work schedule that is really flexible to their needs, and also a work schedule that may offer certain hours. And also keep in mind the management style. So keep that in mind. There's all these intangible features that are important and could play a big role in you choosing whether or not to take a job. These are really important to your overall job satisfaction as your salary and benefits. So it's really important for you to keep these in mind when you're considering a new job. So for job offer negotiations, before you begin, you need to know what you are worth. So research salaries for your position and level. There are many salary surveys that can give you an indication of average salaries of different positions. So check the class website for links to these resources and see if the salary that they're offering you is competitive. Remember that most salary surveys give national average salaries. These average salaries vary widely by geographic region, so keep that in mind. You may also want to do some additional research to see what type of salary is being offered in your local region. So, for example, in Orange County or in Los Angeles County or Riverside or San Bernardino. You can get information that is geographically specific from websites like salaryexpert.com. So you could also find relocation salary calculator information at homefair.com, and that'll help you understand how much would be required if you take a job in a different city or state. So know what you need in order to meet your needs. So for example, you have to keep in mind your monthly budget for rent and food. Create a budget to figure this out. Once you have done your research, you can begin to negotiate. Before you even begin, thank them for the offer and express your enthusiasm about the job and your interest in the position. Indicate that you were hoping to make more and offer your range. Be prepared to accept the low end of your range. So for example, if you give them a range, just make sure that the bottom portion of your range is still acceptable for you, because they may want to go with that. If you have other offers for more money, it's okay to say so, but never lie. So never give them incorrect information that another employer is currently offering you more. If you currently have a position and the position is paying you substantially more and it has a better benefit, you could definitely let them know that, and let them know how they could possibly encourage you to join their team by maybe giving you a better salary or something like that. If the employer comes back with a new offer that is within your request range, congratulations, you have successfully negotiated your offer. So enjoy it. Hopefully you're able to take the position, and hopefully it's able to be a good next career step for you. If they can't meet your salary requirements, the ball is back on your court. If possible, try to negotiate your benefits. Consider the amount of experience you'll gain. That's something that you may also want to consider. Also make a list of pros and cons and see whether it would make sense for you to take that new position. Sometimes people may take a lower position with lower pay if they feel that it's going to help them change course in their career or make a step in a direction that they really want their career to go in. It's really important for you to make that pros and cons list and see how it's going to benefit you in the long run. So most benefits are standard for all employees, but some areas that may be negotiable may include things like job title, start date, review date, especially important if a performance review can be tied to a salary increase, the amount of vacation and the flexible hours, compressed hour work week, or a non-standard hour. So these are all things that you could perhaps negotiate. So you could maybe negotiate for a higher job title, a different start date, and additional vacation time. So I think generally, while some things may be set in stone and they may not be able to change much, these are some of the items that could possibly be changed through negotiation. So in summary, it's always worth trying to negotiate your salary at the very beginning. Try to negotiate the best terms possible because you never know when that opportunity is going to come up to you again. Once the negotiation is done, you'll have to be able to be happy with the entire package they've offered you and feel that it's a good move for your career. So you may have to look at your salary, your benefits, and overall experience and see that yes, this is a good move for you, and yes, you should accept the position. So that is it for this week's talk about workforce readiness. We hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope that it will give you many new ideas on how to negotiate a better situation for yourself at your job. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.